right. So I have with me today Yamilex Jaramillo, and she is going to be talking to us about her position as a senior sales engineer with Greenheck Group.
Thank you, Lynn. So we'll get started right away. A little bit about Greenheck history. Greenheck was founded in 1947 by two brothers, Bob and Bernie Greenheck. The company started off as a sheet metal industry, and it is a privately owned company. If you see the building on the lower right, that is Facility 1 in Schofield, Wisconsin. It's the very first building Greenheck started with. It had about 3,000 square feet and 3 employees to start off. Moving forward to Greenheck today in 2022, Greenheck has expanded a lot. We went from Little, Wisconsin to Minneapolis, Minnesota, Rockland, California, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can see all the states to the right. The most recent one was Clearwater, Florida. So 8 states, 3 countries, which include India and Mexico. And from that one factory in Schofield, Wisconsin, we've expanded to 26 different manufacturing plants. And from 3,000 square foot of manufacturing to 1.9 million square footage of manufacturing. 3 employees, now we have over 4,000 employees across the company. So it's grown a lot more throughout the years. And we're happy to say it is still a privately owned company. The Greenheck family is still in charge of Greenheck. So you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is Greenheck? So Greenheck is the world leader in manufacturing, air movement, conditioning, and control products. We work in the industrial, institutional, and commercial use. So what does that really mean? If you think about it, anything you're breathing in, you want it to be comfortable and fresh. So we provide that through various systems and products. We make sure our controls are working properly with the systems. So it's telling your fan to turn on, turn off, depending on the weather outside and depending on the conditions you want inside. Taking that nasty, stale, spent air from inside out and bringing in fresh, conditioned, comfortable air. So here's a little bit of our products. We have anything from lab exhaust fans. So when you're doing a chemistry job or chemical job in a lab, you want those toxins and fumes to go out. So we exhaust all that air out. We have DOAS systems, so dedicated outdoor air systems that bring in fresh conditioned air. So you're in a gymnasium, you have fresh air coming in and you're good to go and play your A game. We have dampers, louvers, and many, many more products, as you can see here. So who do we serve? This is a little hard one. We literally serve anyone who breathes in fresh air inside closed doors. So you have your schools, you have your hospitals, your warehouses, office buildings, multifamily high-rise buildings, restaurants. The list is endless. The only industry we really aren't in is the residential building. That's too small for the large products that we offer. We do offer one product for residential, and that would be our bath fan. So, when you go to your bathroom at home, you can hear that fan turn on. It's exhausting that nasty air from the bathroom outside, right? So we do offer that for the residential market. But other than that, we mainly stay with industrial and commercial markets. So something that makes Greenheck as successful as it is the values that we share and that we live by. We live by being the easiest company to do business with. The company has ongoing investments in its people and operations, whether that be building a new facility or providing new courses for the office employees or shop employees to kind of grow themselves and benefit Greenheck as a whole. Making a difference in the community. We're very involved in our community and we give back in any opportunity or any way that we can. Having integrity and professionalism. Mutual beneficial partners with sales partners and suppliers, and then continuous improvement through learning, innovation, and teamwork. So now moving on to my career path. For my career path, I graduated from MacArthur Senior High School, MacArthur Generals. If you're local in Wisconsin, you probably have never heard of this school before. Reason being that it is in Houston, Texas. So I lived in Houston majority of my life, and then I left to pursue my bachelor's in science and mechanical engineering from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Long story there, they just had really great opportunities, and it was such a great fit for me. I decided to take the leap and go to Platteville. Some internships that I had throughout my time, I worked at Northern Engraving as a mechanical engineer. Throughout there, I got to do tensile testing. I got to work with machines and how to, reduce waste that they're having, how to make it more efficient to work in the shop floor for those employees, and many things in between, from data analysis to research as well. And then my second internship actually landed me here at Greenheck. I became a test engineer, where if you see those pictures on the bottom right, those big systems that I mentioned have cooling and heating, even energy recovery technologies, I got to climb into those units and kind of, put them together, take them apart, test them in every single configuration you can think of possible, in order to make sure that when we sell one of our products, it actually performs at what we say it's going to perform. So it was a really, really big project for me to be part of. And I learned so much through that experience. Forever grateful for that first experience. Everything was hands-on, and I absolutely loved it. Upon completing my test engineer co-op, I actually got a full-time offer from Greenheck. It was a year before I graduated college. They gave me a really good offer with an opportunity I just could not say no to. So now we'll continue on to my full-time with Greenheck. My first position that they offered me was a sales and marketing application engineer. This one is very unique, as no one else in the company has ever had it. They made this position just for me. If you saw the products I showed before, see the products in the back of this slide, there's a lot. Greenheck has teams that focus specifically on a specific type of product, whether it be lab exhaust, you have your bath fans, that's a team. You have your DOAS systems, that's a team. So we have 9 different teams within Greenheck, 9 different products. So with my position, I got to go around every single product group, learn about it, understand where it's applied, understand who the customers are, understand how to troubleshoot, answer problems, answer questions. And then I did my stint, moved on to the next product. So it was continuously learning a lot, right? So I got the opportunity to do 9 different product groups in 2 years. So it was a pretty fast-paced program. But at the end of it all, I really got a feel of what Greenheck is as a whole. I mean, after all, I got to see everything they have to offer, meet all of the teams, and understand how we provide system solutions. So it was a really good experience. So upon completing that 2-year rotation program, I actually got the opportunity to turn directly into the sales team. And now I am a senior sales engineer with our mechanical rep group. So what does that mean, and what do you do now, right? I do work on a school vertical development, which means I get to do a lot of research and education on how Greenheck can provide a system solution for schools. So I've been doing a lot of market research. I've been determining who the decision makers are, and then what the best way to educate both the decision makers and our mechanical representatives on how to attack the schools. You want to ensure that schools know why ventilation is so important. After all, we provide ventilation equipment, right? Often it gets overlooked and schools don't think about it. I understand there's a lot going on, right? So my job is to create awareness on it, to make it as easy as possible to let school administrators, facility managers know and understand what options are there out there for them and what decision is going to be the best for their school specifically. And then as well, our mechanical representatives are technically the ones that they'd be connecting with because they're the ones that sell the product for us. So making it easy for them to make a connection with the decision makers. So kind of, I am just teeing up a project to create as much awareness as possible. Again, We want to show how proper ventilation can impact student learning, teaching, productivity. So indoor air quality is such a big deal, especially given the circumstances now that we've had the past 2 years with COVID in our lives. You know, we want to make sure we're breathing healthy, clean air. This became a big opportunity for Greenheck to be an educator to those out there. So I'm happy to be on this team and kind of lead it as well. So the life of a sales engineer, don't be scared when you hear sales, because I initially was. When I heard this, I would think, you know, it sells like when I was selling chocolate bars for a fundraiser. You know, I hated being told no. It made you feel kind of bad. But this sales is a lot different. It's education. Realistically, I'm promoting awareness. And I want everybody to know why we're so good, why they should pick Greenheck, and them themselves will make a decision to buy from us. I'm just speaking the truth from my learnings and my understanding to my audience, to my customers, to my representatives. Then they are in charge of making the decisions themselves. So I don't consider it sales, like you normally would think. So just kind of keep that in mind, that it can be a little bit different than your typical sales route. I didn't put a day in the life of a sales engineer because it varies from week to week. Sometimes I am traveling for a week and a half, doing presentations, educating engineers, contractors, school administrators, doing presentations in the office, or as you can see, there's a trailer that we take around the United States, do stops, have engineers come to us, and then, you know, promote some of our product. Again, creating that awareness that we're going after. I do a lot of meetings with customers and representatives to kind of get feedback on my research for schools. I allow them to give me advice as to what they're seeing. I take that down and then further distribute it to my team on how do we want to attack that? What do we think it's best? I work in a lot of marketing material, whether that be videos, as you can see on the top. We do have some videos specifically for the school vertical market, helping school administrators, parents, teachers, and facility managers understand why ventilation is important. Well, we got to shoot actual videos, so I felt like a star for a little bit. And then we get to do white papers, you know, publications. We do marketing collateral, but there'd be 2-piece trifolds. So I get to be part of all those conversations to try to make sure we're providing the right plan to our audience, delivering the right message as a team, right? I do a market analysis, kind of where's the biggest opportunity in terms of schools, or any other industry as well. I do educational presentations virtually as well. That's been a big thing these past 2 years. So that's something I do. And then build customer relationships. Anytime I travel, I am on the job, whether I'm presenting or not. I have to be on my A game, can't be tired, have to have dinner with the customers afterwards, but still make that connection and relationship with them. So next time they see you as a, you know, solution provider, they want to come to you for help. And that's really what you want to do as a sales engineer. You want to create those connections, speak the truth, and then have those people come back and reach out for support and help. And then that way you make Greenheck a really good option for the end customer. Traveling is a big part of my job. It hasn't been as big because of COVID, and sometimes we have restrictions on how many times you can travel, but as a sales engineer, you should expect yourself to travel. And as a young engineer, I actually really love to travel because you get to explore the world while you're there, right? I am a big foodie, so I get to try a lot of food, unique foods and unique experiences when I am out on the road, which is really nice. So my involvement while being at Greenheck and in my position, I am currently the United Way chair for our team. So I'm kind of like the president of our United Way team internally. Greenheck is the only platinum sponsor for United Way Marathon County. We're very proud of that. So we put a lot of effort into how much volunteerism we have and how much donations we get throughout the year. So we just kicked that off this year, and I'll be the chair for that. I am the wellness team president, so I actually put together a skydiving event for our team, both shop and office, to go skydiving, bond, and gets the adrenaline pumping. So we were able to do it through the wellness team, but we do a lot of other activities throughout the year for the wellness. So I'm happy to be part of that as well. I do coach flag football for Special Olympics. I've been doing that since I was a co-op. Still continuing to do that. Last year, our season got cut short just because COVID. I mean, at least we got to do half a year, right? Well, it was warm out, but as it started getting a little colder out, we had to cut it a little bit short. I do go to recruiting events, whether that be at Platteville or in-house or co-op day when we're recruiting for new people to come in. I'm always attending those. I am an Arable board member. So that's a community organization trying to bring more people into Wisconsin. I am part of the community outreach committee for the women in Greenheck Group. So that's another opportunity where I get to give back to the community, whether that be specifically in women or in our community. So a lot of opportunity for involvement. I'm sure there's a lot more within Greenheck that I haven't even dug into just yet. So opportunities within Greenheck. We actually have internship opportunities, co-ops, like I mentioned. That's a 6 months term. Internships are usually just summer. Youth apprenticeships, which is really great. At Greenheck, you get to learn hands-on what you want to do, kind of give it a test drive before you're making a decision. So it's something you should really consider. Leadership programs. We have skilled trades, whether it be welding, testing, maintenance, and then a lot of production options, assembly, fabricating, and creating. A lot of options. Just give it a go. I know it might be non-traditional, but it never hurts to try, right? So women in manufacturing advice. My first advice would be get experience as soon as possible. Never hurts to know more. And the more you know, the more resourceful you'll be and the more valuable you'll be in the end as well. The story I like to share is, when I was an intern at Northern Engraving, I worked aside another engineer. And that engineer was working below me because he'd never had previous experience. So I, as an intern, was already ahead of him because I was getting this experience. I was still a student, don't get me wrong. I was still a student, but because he had never had any experience, even though he graduated college, he was below me because he had no experience, which blew my mind. And that's what led me to go to Greenheck for a co-op right off the bat. Internship, next semester I was gone for some more experience because I was a little scared. My second thing of advice would be get comfortable being uncomfortable. You're always going to be put into situations where you be like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I've never tried that before. Don't let that stop you. Whenever you're uncomfortable, that's when you're growing. You're coming out of your comfort zone, trying new things. And at the end, you're only going to be better because of it. And then lastly, I just want to share my favorite quote that I ran into when I was in high school. It kind of always sticks in the back of my mind. And that is, don't tell me the sky is the limit when there's clearly footprints on the moon, by Paul Brand. And I don't know where it came from. I just know that I first heard it when I was in high school. And it just kind of made me feel like, even though people might doubt you, or even though, being a woman in a field full of male dominated people doesn't mean you can't do it. There's living proof out there that people can be successful and just keep pushing through and never let anybody else tell you otherwise. And that is all I have for you, Lynn.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm wondering, just because, we're in the education field, when school districts came back last year and COVID clearly had not yet gone away, did they have to do some rethinking about how they moved air and, what that looked like when students came back to school?
Yeah, so that's where my research has kind of said some schools did dig into their systems and make necessary upgrades. Some other schools, unfortunately, just did a Band-Aid or a quick fix because that's what they had the time for. However, that's where my push is coming from. There's a lot of funding that came because of COVID. It's ESSER funding, so elementary, secondary school emergency relief funds that can be used for HVAC testing, maintenance, and upgrades. So a lot of schools surprisingly don't know that. Don't know that it falls under that bucket, right? So even though they might have done a quick band-aid fix, if you have the funding to make that big change and really ensure a healthy building for a couple years versus just a season of school, why not make that change? So again, just kind of creating awareness on that for the schools that haven't considered it in the past.
Mhm. That is a great point with those ESSER funds. And so this is something that just makes this video even more valuable, because it's something we can also share with our superintendents and say, hey, this is what this company does, and you can use ESSER funds in order to take a look at that in your district.
Yeah, of course.